Imagine being offered a song that could change your entire career and saying no. Years later, you hear that
You can tell my feet to hit the floor.
winning awards and becoming one of the biggest country songs of its generation. That is exactly what happened to some of the biggest names in country music.
His Bobby slow dancing with a beach ball tramp, and she's
From Patsy Cline to Garth Brooks, Carrie Underwood to Kenny Rogers, these artists discovered one painful truth. Sometimes, the song you reject becomes the song everyone remembers. These are 14 massive country hits that were turned down,
And he had a car.
passed over, or nearly rejected before finding the voice that made them legendary. Welcome to Saddle Sounds 77,
On the banks of the river on
where we bring forgotten stories, legendary voices, and the hidden history behind classic music back to life.
over me.
Let's begin. Number 5, into a household name. The irony is beautiful. One group's maybe not became another group's career-defining yes. And that's one of the strange rules of now. A song doesn't have to be rejected forever. Sometimes it only needs to find the right singer. Number 13, Strawberry Wine, Deanna Carter. Strawberry Wine sounds like the kind of song that was destined to become a classic.
And he had a car. Yeah.
But Nashville didn't see it that way at first. Matraka Berg and Gary Harrison wrote the song, and Berg originally intended to record it herself.
Found love growing wild on the bank.
But after she lost her record deal, the song began making its way around Nashville. Several singers passed on it, including Trisha Yearwood. Record labels had concerns too.
17, the hot July moon.
The song was long. Its story was unconventional. And some people didn't believe it sounded like an obvious radio hit.
Bittersweet, the green on the vine.
Then, Deanna Carter heard it. She reportedly became the only artist to attend a showcase where the song was being presented. She took the song,
I still remember.
and country music history changed. Strawberry Wine became a #1 country hit, and eventually won the CMA Song of the Year.
Here was September.
The song that some people considered too long and too complicated became one of the defining country songs of the 1990s. Sometimes the problem isn't the song.
It away like the leaves in the fall.
Sometimes the problem is that people can't see the future.
Just to remember the
Number 12, Achy Breaky Heart, Billy Ray Cyrus. Few songs in early 1990s country music were more impossible to escape than Achy Breaky Heart.
Me on the phone. You can tell my
But before Billy Ray Cyrus turned it into a phenomenon, the song had already been passed around. The Oak Ridge Boys were among the acts associated with passing on it,
don't tell my heart, my achy breaking heart.
with the song's unusual title and phrasing becoming part of the story. Ronnie Millsap has also been reported as passing on the song. Then Billy Ray Cyrus heard it. His reaction was very different. He immediately connected with it. The song became a massive hit in 1992 and launched Cyrus into superstardom.
He never really liked me anyway.
It also became one of the defining songs of the line dancing craze of the era. What makes the story fascinating is that the song wasn't hiding its identity.
My achy breaky heart, I just don't think it.
Achy Breaky Heart sounded exactly like Achy Breaky Heart. The same phrase that made some people hesitate became the hook that millions of people couldn't forget. Number 11, The Gambler, Kenny Rogers. Before Kenny Rogers turned The Gambler into one of the most recognizable songs in country music,
At the darkness, till boredom overtook us.
another legend had the opportunity to record it. That legend was Willie Nelson. Kenny Rogers himself wanted Willie to record the song.
He said, son, I've made a life out of
But Willie passed. Then Rogers recorded it. And the rest is country music history. The Gambler became a signature song for Rogers
taste of your whiskey. I'll give you some advice.
and earned him a Grammy. It also became part of American pop culture. The song was so successful that The Gambler eventually became associated with television,
On a warm summer's evening, on a train.
movies, books, and an entire character persona for Rogers. Imagine being Willie Nelson and hearing Kenny Rogers turn a song you passed on
Every gambler
into one of the defining recordings of his career. That's the kind of missed opportunity that stays with you. But Willie Nelson had one thing many artists never have:
can hope for is to die in your sleep.
enough great songs to survive the ones he didn't record.
Hold on, know when to walk away.
Number 10. I Fall to Pieces, Patsy Cline. Here's where the story gets even more surprising. I Fall to Pieces became one of Patsy Cline's greatest recordings. But Patsy wasn't the first choice. The song had already been turned down by Brenda Lee. Roy Drusky also passed on it, reportedly because he didn't think it suited a male singer. Then Patsy Cline overheard the discussion, and she asked to record it. That decision would change her career. I Fall to Pieces became Cline's first #1 country hit. But here's the incredible part. Even Patsy wasn't immediately convinced. She initially had reservations about the song's production and sound. Her producer, Owen Bradley, persuaded her to go ahead. The result? One of the most recognizable voices in country music, singing one of the most recognizable heartbreak songs ever recorded. Several people had the opportunity. Several people said no. Patsy said yes. And country music never forgot it. Number 9. Crazy, Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline appears again. And this time, the story is even more remarkable.
Crazy.
Willie Nelson wrote Crazy when he was still struggling to establish himself. He originally had another country singer, Billy Walker, in mind for the song.
Crazy for me.
Walker passed on it. Then the song eventually reached Patsy Cline. But Patsy wasn't immediately in love with it either.
You'd love me as long as you.
She reportedly disliked the song when she first heard it. Her husband encouraged her to reconsider, while producer Owen Bradley saw something special in it. Eventually, she recorded it. The result became one of the greatest country recordings of all time. Crazy reached number 2 on the country chart
Let myself worry.
and became synonymous with Patsy Cline. And here's the beautiful twist. The song didn't just help Patsy, it helped Willie Nelson too.
How did I do?
A relatively unknown songwriter suddenly had a major song attached to his name. One rejection helped create 2 legends. Number 7. Friends in Low Places, Garth Brooks. This might be one of the biggest "what if" stories in country music.
Black tie affair. The last
Imagine Friends in Low Places being sung by George Strait. Because that almost happened. The songwriters eventually brought the song into Garth Brooks's orbit.
said, honey, we may be through, but you'll
But Brooks has explained that the song was originally intended for someone else. George Strait passed on it. Garth Brooks then recorded it.
chases my blue away.
And the rest is country music history. Friends in Low Places became a #1 hit and one of the most recognizable songs of the 1990s. It became a stadium anthem.
The oasis, so I've got a friend.
A barroom anthem, a wedding sing-along, a song that people who don't even consider themselves country fans know by heart. And perhaps the greatest irony is that Garth wasn't even an established superstar when he first encountered the song. He recorded a demo. He loved it.
Well, I guess I was wrong.
And eventually, he made it his own. George Strait had already achieved enormous success. But Garth Brooks was about to turn this particular song
And I'll show myself to the door.
into a cultural phenomenon. One artist passed. Another artist found his anthem. Number 6. Before He Cheats. Carrie Underwood. Now here's a slightly different kind of rejection story.
And she's probably getting risky. Right now, he's
Carrie Underwood almost rejected one of her own biggest songs. Before He Cheats didn't immediately fit the image people had of the young American Idol winner.
and he don't know.
Carrie had come across as sweet, wholesome, and approachable. Then she heard a song that was much more aggressive. She had doubts. Was it too much? Was it too different? Should she really record it? Thankfully, she took the chance. Before He Cheats became one of her signature songs.
Probably up singing some white trash version of Shania Carey.
It dominated country radio and crossed over to the mainstream. It also revealed a side of Carrie Underwood that audiences hadn't fully seen before. The lesson?
And he don't know.
Sometimes the song that scares an artist the most is the song that introduces the world to a new version of them. Carrie didn't just record a hit. She discovered another dimension of her own artistry. Number 5. Blue. LeAnn Rimes. Before LeAnn Rimes became a teenage country sensation, she had to convince the people around her that she could handle the song that would change her life. Blue had an unusual history. The song had been written decades earlier and was associated with Patsy Cline's legacy. When it came to the young LeAnn Rimes, her father initially felt the song was too mature for her. He thought it was too old for a young girl to sing. But LeAnn loved it. She kept pushing. Eventually, she recorded it, and the result was extraordinary. Her voice sounded far older than her age. The song helped transform her into a national star. What makes this story powerful is that the person closest to her wasn't saying the song was bad. He was saying it wasn't right for her. But LeAnn believed otherwise. And she proved that sometimes age doesn't determine whether a singer can carry a song. Talent does. Number 4. Independence Day earned Grammy nominations, won the CMA Song of the Year, and became an enduring anthem about breaking free from abuse. What makes its story fit perfectly into this countdown is the risk involved. In Nashville, artists constantly have to decide. Number 3. I Will Always Love You, Dolly Parton. Now we're entering another level. Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You
Everybody else. This is a song about that special person in my life.
became a massive country hit. But one of the most famous stories surrounding the song involves Elvis Presley. Elvis wanted to record Dolly's song.
I would only be in.
For many artists, that would have been an impossible offer to refuse. But Dolly said no. Why?
I'll think of you.
Because Elvis's management wanted a major share of the publishing rights. Dolly couldn't bring herself to give up control of a song that meant so much to her. So Elvis never recorded it. Dolly kept it. Years later, Whitney Houston's version transformed the song into a global phenomenon.
Bittersweet memory.
But the story begins much earlier. Dolly chose ownership over an opportunity that could have placed her song in Elvis Presley's catalog.
Goodbye. Please don't.
That decision reportedly cost her money in the short term, but she kept the rights, and history proved that the song was worth protecting. Sometimes saying no isn't a mistake. Sometimes it's the decision that protects your legacy.
Treat you kind.
Number 2, Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton. Before Chris Stapleton's version became a modern country classic, Tennessee Whiskey already had a long history.
Used to spend my nights out.
George Jones recorded it in 1983, but years later, George Strait passed on the song. That decision became particularly interesting
But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom.
after Stapleton revived it. Stapleton's version transformed the song into one of the biggest country recordings of the modern era. Suddenly, an old song was everywhere again. You heard it on radio, at concerts, at weddings, on television, and younger listeners who had never heard the original were discovering the song for the first time. George Strait didn't need Tennessee Whiskey. He already had an extraordinary catalog. But Chris Stapleton found something in the song that perfectly matched his voice. The song had been waiting for him. And sometimes that's what a classic really is.
It's right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
A song that survives until the right artist finally arrived.
'Cause there's nothing.
Number 1, The Gambler, Kenny Rogers. And at number 1, we're returning to the song that may best represent the entire story.
On a warm summer.
The Gambler. Because this wasn't simply a song that somebody passed on. It was a song that could have belonged to Willie Nelson.
On a warm summer.
Kenny Rogers wanted Willie to record it. Willie turned it down. Kenny recorded it instead. And then something extraordinary happened.
So we took turns of staring out the window.
The song became one of the defining recordings of Kenny Rogers' career. Released in 1978, it became a number 1 country hit and earned Rogers a Grammy.
Faces, and knowing what the cards were.
But the story didn't stop there. The Gambler became a character, a philosophy, a piece of American culture.
I'll give you some advice.
The song became so deeply associated with Rogers that the title followed him for decades. And when people think about Kenny Rogers today, they don't just remember the singer.
When to run, you never count your money.
They remember the Gambler. That's the power of finding the right song at the right moment. Willie Nelson had the opportunity. Kenny Rogers seized it. And decades later, almost everyone remembers who sang it. The history of country music is filled with songs that almost belong to somebody else.
The gambler, he broke even, but in his
A songwriter writes a masterpiece. A producer hears it. An artist listens. And sometimes they say, no,
hold up, know when to walk away.
maybe the song doesn't fit. Maybe the lyrics feel strange. Maybe the melody sounds too different.
When the deal is done, you got to know.
Maybe the artist simply has too many songs to choose from. But music has a strange way of finding its destination. Crazy found Patsy Cline. Friends in Low Places found Garth Brooks. Jesus, Take the Wheel found Carrie Underwood. Independence Day found Martina McBride.
Summer's evening, on a train bound for no.
The Gambler found Kenny Rogers. And Tennessee Whiskey eventually found Chris Stapleton. The artists who passed on these songs weren't necessarily foolish. They
Speak. He said, son, I've made a life.
simply couldn't see what the future would look like. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of all. A song can be rejected today and become history tomorrow. So the next time you hear a classic country hit, remember, before it became legendary, somebody may have listened to it and simply said, no.
Last one to know, the last one to show.
This is Saddle Sounds 77. If you enjoyed this journey through the songs that almost had different voices,
I toasted you.
subscribe for more stories behind the music. Because sometimes the greatest stories in country music aren't about the songs that became hits. They're about the songs that almost didn't.